Savings versus investing. This is the mistake that keeps people poor. You put money aside every month. You're disciplined, careful, responsible, and yet, 10 years go by. Your bank balance grows, but your life doesn't. That gap, between effort and outcome, isn't bad luck. It's not just inflation, it's not the economy either. It's a quiet mistake almost everyone makes. They mistake saving for building wealth. And that mistake keeps people stuck. Let me show you why. Picture two people, same salary, same age, same city, both start earning at 22. Both decide they'll be financially responsible. Person A saves. Every month, money goes into a savings account. Safe. Predictable. No stress. Person B invests. Nothing extreme. No crypto dreams. No shortcuts. Just steady, boring investments. Now fast forward 15 years. Person A feels proud. They never missed a deposit. Their balance is bigger than it's ever been. Person B feels unsure. Markets went up. They went down. Some years felt uncomfortable. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Person B is ahead. Way ahead. Not because they were smarter. Not because they took crazy risks, but because they understood how the system actually works. Saving and investing sound similar. They're often used in the same sentence. Banks even blur the line, on purpose. But they serve completely different roles. Saving is about not losing money. Investing is about letting money work. Those goals are not the same. When you save, you protect value. When you invest, you create value. And protection alone doesn't make you richer. Slow down for a second. When you put money in a savings account, the bank doesn't lock it in a vault. They use it, they lend it, they invest it, you get a small interest. They keep the real upside. It feels like growth, but it isn't wealth growth. It's just balance growth, because while your number goes up, prices rise faster. Food, rent, education, healthcare, your money is running on a treadmill that keeps speeding up. You're moving, but you're not getting anywhere. Now comes the uncomfortable math. If your savings earn 3% a year and inflation runs at 6%, you didn't grow. You shrank. Quietly. No alerts. No warnings. Just less future packed into the same money. Here's the part nobody likes to say out loud. Saving is defensive. It's not meant to make you rich. It's meant to keep you alive when things go wrong. Emergency fund. Short-term needs. Stability. That's it. The problem starts when people stop there. Because investing exists for a reason. Not to gamble, not to get rich quick, but to participate in growth. When you invest, you're not parking money. You're buying pieces of economic activity. Companies making products, services solving problems, systems that expand over time. Your money isn't waiting, it's working, and work compounds. This is where time changes everything. The real advantage of investing isn't higher returns. It's patience. A 10% return doesn't look impressive in 1 year. It looks boring, but stretch it over 20 years. And the growth stops being straight. It bends. The early years feel slow, almost pointless, which is exactly why most people quit. They look at year 3, year 4, nothing dramatic, so they pull out, go back to saving, back to safety. They exit right before compounding becomes visible. That's the irony. The most powerful phase begins after patience runs out. Now let's talk about risk. Saving feels safe. Investing feels risky, but that's surface level thinking. Short-term investing is risky. Long-term not investing is guaranteed risk. Guaranteed loss of purchasing power. Guaranteed pressure later in life. Guaranteed dependence on income. You don't feel it early because the damage is delayed. Risk that shows up late is easy to ignore today. That's why the system rewards savers with peace of mind, and punishes them quietly over decades. There's comfort in watching money sit still. No volatility. No bad news. But stability without growth is just slow erosion. Here's the strange part. People panic over a 10% drop in investments. But they're okay losing 40% of purchasing power over 20 years, because it never shows up as a red number. One loss is visible, the other is invisible. Guess which one feels scarier? This is why banks love savings. It's simple. predictable, and profitable for them. Investing shifts power. It puts your money into systems you don't control, but benefit from. And humans hate giving up control. We'd rather control a shrinking outcome than trust a growing process. Zoom out even more. This mistake doesn't just affect individuals. It shapes generations. People save harder instead of learning how money grows. They work longer instead of letting capital work alongside them. They delay freedom without realizing why. Not because they're lazy, but because nobody explained the difference. Schools teach saving as virtue, not investing as necessity. Media praises frugality, not ownership. So people do the right thing and still fall behind. This isn't a call to stop saving. That would be reckless. It's a call to stop pretending saving is enough. Saving keeps you stable. Investing moves you forward. One is a seatbelt, the other is an engine. You need both, but confusing them is expensive. So here's the real question. If you keep doing what feels safe, what does your money actually become in 20 years? Not the number, the life it buys. Because money isn't about balances. It's about options. And the difference between saving and investing is the difference between preserving options and creating them. Most people never make that shift. Not because they can't, but because nobody warned them what staying still really costs. So before you put away your next rupee, ask yourself quietly, is this money hiding, or is it working? And what happens if it never does? If you are interested in such videos, then subscribe to our channel, and if you find any mistake or have any question, then please comment.